Thanks, Hannah. Yes, great deal to look forward to over these next 3 hours or so. Very, very busy morning this morning with various degrees of success for different nations. The Dutch are going well. Certainly the Spanish are having a fabulous week as well. And the Poles look supreme this morning in one race after another, middle distances in particular.
And we've got a very evenly matched long jump coming up, and we've been talking about Matteo Ferlani versus Tobias Montler, three-time silver medalist. Well, there's a lot of other good contenders in there. Very open.
Let's stick to this women's triple jump final. 8 athletes out there. Filipic of Slovenia, Peleteiro-Compaoré, the Spaniard. She's perhaps the favourite. Guillaume of France. And then Dovile Kilty, wife of the former world indoor champion, Mr. Kilty, who announced his retirement just very recently. Richard Kilty. Jon of Romania is out there as well. Senni Salminen of Finland. The colours, those blue colours we're now familiar with. They're having a good championships actually. Finland, they punch above their weight. Gabriela Petrova of Bulgaria and Tugba Danismaz, the defending champion. Hence that gold number she's wearing, that gold bib she's wearing. Took a silver medal outdoors in Rome last summer.
Right, let's get back to the action.
Let's do just that. Filipic, the first to go then, out of the 8 finalists in this women's triple jump. 7th in the European Championships last year in Rome, the Slovenian. And that's not a bad opener. That looks around, what, 1370, something like that would be my guess. Her season's best, 1405. Just looking to see. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. There's been quite a lot of people struggling with this runway in men's long jump this morning and the heptathlon and triple jump yesterday. It's been creating challenges.
Well, Filipic herself really struggled last night in qualification. It was third and final jump, 2 fouls, and then finally jumped further enough to make the cut in the top 8. So I don't think Filipic will feel like it's deja vu to turn up here and foul, but hopefully she can figure it out.
Not sure what the discussion is about there as we see the perhaps the favourite, the Spaniard, Ana Peleteiro-Compaoré, next to go. She's a 1487 jumper, did that at the Olympic Games in Tokyo 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Close to 15 metres, and that would put her into a very special club, so to speak. World Indoor Championship bronze medalist last year in Glasgow. Now, what can the Spaniard do? Her opener. That's nice. That's nice. If she gets the... oh, it's a no jump. What a shame, because that was big. That looked to be about 1470. I don't know how much she was beyond the front edge of the board. Did you notice, Hannah?
I thought it looked pretty good to the naked eye in the stadium. I thought it might be a green flag for the Spaniard. What a shame. That's huge. And I think we look back to Istanbul. Oh, it was less than a centimetre in the wrong direction. That's such a shame. And I was looking back to Istanbul. It was a Danismaz won with a national record in round 1. I think that's the way you want to do this. You want to go out far in the first round and then put the pressure on everyone else around you.
Ilionis Guillaume, then of France, third in the jumping order, 1398 this winter. She has cleared 14.5 metres in the past. Well, that's solid, but just lost her rhythm through the middle of that one. It's about 13.5 metres. She is actually a 14.59 jumper at her best. That was in Guadalajara in Spain last year. Yeah, she lost that one halfway through. Nice on the board. 13.54 was something to build upon for the French athlete. Bronze medalist last year in Rome at the European Championships. She has good temperament for those big occasions, and this is certainly a big occasion. And her motto, interesting one: sacrifice what you are to become what you want to be. The French Guillaume. So the only valid jump so far, 13.54 for her.
Do you know that in French?
No. Next question.
Kilty on the runway. Good season's best from her to qualify for this final. And that looked good and even. And a massive sort of deceleration through the phases. It was a foul, unfortunately, though, for Kilty. The way she committed to the rest of the jump, I think it must have been a minor foul. She thought sort of worth going through the hop step jump.
Oh, do you know what? That was a big jump too. That was out there, what, about 13.80, something like that? And her season's best is 13.86. I think she'll take reinforcement from that. You know, you've got to look at that positively and go, yeah, there's a big jump in there. She's got to nail it the next round. The Latvian. But that's, goodness me, 3 jumps out of 4 so far are no jumps. Next to go, Diana Anamaria Ion of Romania. She's a 14-metre plus jumper this winter. And that again, bounding out there towards 14 metres. Does she get the green light? Let's hope she does. Yes, she does. We got a valid jump on our hands.
Well, Peleteiro-Compaoré, she said in the sort of flash quotes when they go through the mix zone last night, there's this disjoint for her in when she measured her run up when she's warming up. She hasn't got the adrenaline, and then she goes to compete, and yeah, she can never seem to match up the two. She almost has to do that first jump and then reassess under sort of the competition environment. And I do think that's a challenge for a lot of these women in the first round. There's nothing quite like getting down to your competition kit for your nation, having that number on your chest, just to bring probably too much speed into the board, and that could be why we're seeing these fouls.
It's like almost any discipline, you know, competition. You cannot completely replicate competition, no matter what people say. Salminen next to go. Senni Salminen looked good in qualifying. 14.07 this year. Her lifetime best, actually, although it was, some 4 years ago, 14.63. The Finn, 6th in the jumping order. Only 2 valid jumps so far. The lead 13.82 by Ion just now, the Romanian. Chance now to snatch the lead. Oh dear, oh dear. And I think she was about to take off way behind the board. I think that's why she aborted it and just ran through.
There was a bit of a look back at the runway, like there was something wrong with it by Salminen. We'll have a look here at the replay. There's something going wrong on that. It almost looked like she felt there might have been a distraction there from that camera. There was a real glare at the camera.
Strange.
Perhaps that was coincidental from the Finnish athlete.
Well, that's a shame. Comes from the capital city, Helsinki. Last but one, the Bulgarian Gabriela Petrova. Very experienced Petrova. 3 times in the top 8 at the European Championships. Well, actually, way back in 2015, 10 years ago, came 4th in the World Championships in Beijing. Oh, no, and she lost that one as well. They're really not hitting their straps yet. It's almost like these are, in a strange sort of way, sighting jumps, getting a feel for the runway.
It's almost as though there's something going on with the board, that they're not getting kind of the response they expect when they do the hop phase there, because there's been a few people, the French woman as well, like Guillaume, she's struggled with that hop into the step.
But they don't seem to be blaming the board. They're not going back and having a word with the officials or anything, are they? So it makes you wonder. But it does leave the door open for a bit of a big jump, perhaps a shock jump from one of these athletes. And who better, perhaps, than at the end of this first round for the reigning champion, the defending champion, Danismaz, Tugba Danismaz of Turkey. Here we go. That's not bad. That's not bad. That probably almost equals the lead from beyond 13.82. She can go a lot better than that. She's a 14.5-metre plus triple jumper outdoors. Gets the green light. And Danismaz, 13.79, a very close second. And look at that, almost perfect on the board. 13.79, and she's up and running. Up and jumping, I should say.
Hop, stepping and jumping.
With this many athletes having a problem, there's an opportunity here for somebody perhaps to snatch a medal with a nice jump. And that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. Oh, it's a red flag again. Dear, oh dear, because that was big. That looked big. Went out in qualifying at the Olympic Games last year. Very rangy, powerful sprinter. And again, only 5.3, so that's just over 2 inches across the front edge of the board. And she wants to have a look so she can see perhaps how to adjust her markers when she starts her run up. Yep, there you go, a couple of inches.
Peleteiro-Compaoré up next. I love the way she approaches the runway. Sometimes she's telling herself off, sometimes she's telling her coach off. It's a real sort of championship persona that she brings. And she's definitely got an opportunity here. This first round hasn't produced any fireworks at all. Peleteiro-Compaoré, that foul in the first round by just under a centimetre was a big jump. It was over her own European leading mark of 14.33. So if she can pull back by just 1 centimetre, she would have a jump that would put the pressure on the rest of the field here in Apeldoorn. Ooh, she muscled that out, the Spaniard. Again, it didn't look perfect on takeoff. All that experience she brings to this competition here. It was messy, but she got it done, and it will be a long distance, I think, and a green flag.
Yeah, when you think she tops the European rankings with 14.33, and that's 23 centimetres better than anybody else. 14.20, it's a monster. That could kill the competition stone dead. Nobody else in this field has jumped nearly as far as that this year, and it really just slapped the gauntlet down at the feet of her competitors. It's if you let that get inside your head, well, you're gone. They've got to keep chasing the big jumps. They've got to be aggressive now, though. Hannah, 14.20, brilliant second round jump.
Ilionis Guillaume, first athlete, is going to have an opportunity to respond. The bronze medalist from Rome in the summer. Oh, miles over the board there, Guillaume. Nowhere near it. Almost like she started her run up on the wrong leg and had the wrong leg ready for takeoff.
Wasn't that bizarre? She looks, well, nonplussed by it herself. I think she probably can't believe what happened. Maybe she can't remember what happened. I mean, the takeoff foot step was way beyond the board. It wasn't close. So here we go. Watch this.
There she is. The heel off the other side of the track.
Extreme right to picture. That's the first time ever I think I've seen a still shot of a no jump and the foot almost not in shot. She'll be annoyed with herself for that. Isn't it funny, the effect that the pressure, the adrenaline of a major championship, being in the spotlight, can have upon you. Normally so calm, measured, logical, accurate thinking. Kilty now, she had a really big jump in the first round. What can she do here? Peleteiro-Compaoré 14.20, Yon second 13.82. That's better. That looks better, and that looks legal to me. Let's see if the green light comes up at the far end of the arena. I do wish something would come up on screen as well, but yes, I can tell you it was a good jump. Maybe not 13.82, but certainly pretty solid. What does she get in that one? Kilty 13.65, moves into 4th place.
Ion of Romania up next, in 2nd place at the moment. I think that could improve on her 13.82. It's not going to catch the mark of Peleteiro-Compaoré, but Ion on 13.82 might just have added a few centimetres there. You just get the whole field maybe split in two, those that are feeling comfortable on the runway and are hitting their groove. Ion certainly one of those. At the other end of the spectrum, you've got your Filipic's on 2 fouls, and Guillaume with that kind of massive misstep there, where she's got to go back to the drawing board. But the Romanian does add a few centimetres, just underneath 14 metres.
Yeah, that's nice from Ion, very close to her season's best. She's warming to the task. Just looking, she's the only athlete at the moment with 2 valid jumps out of her 2 efforts. Danismaz, at the moment, shunted down to sitting in 3rd place with her opener 13.79. Now here's Senni Salminen. 14.07 this year. She could get over 14 metres, or indeed 14 metres exactly would put her in 2nd place. That's around 13.60. I don't think she looked too impressed with it. Grabs a handful of sand and throws it down in frustration. Does she get the green flag? Or the green light, I should say. Yes, she does. Yeah, Salminen Well, no jump in the first round, gives away 5 centimetres, not much. Good on the board. And her distance puts her into 5th place, 13.64. So she too up and running here.
I think if we'd been in the shot put, that might have been one of the ones where they just tap their toe on the board and say no thanks. Salminen's equivalent of chucking the sand back in the pit.
But you never know, do you, because of count-pack situations. I think, you know, reasonable jumps, if not superb jumps, performances, throws, jumps, can count later on, so you need to hold on to them. Gabriela Petrova then. No jump in the first round. Nice speed, but that looked over the board as well, and I think she knew it. Did she end up semi-aborting that in on the final phase? Yeah, no jump as well for her. That's frustrating. She generates a lot of speed. She's a real little power pack. Only 5'6". Yeah, 1m68. Swings right out towards the... Oh, and that was so close. At 1.5 centimetres over the front end of the board into that black zone, which makes it an illegal jump. Invalid jump, I should say. She tried karate in her time. Nicknamed Gigi, Gabi Petrova. And now the defending champion in a medal position. This is only the second round. This will close the second round. 13.79 for Danismaz. Comes from the capital city, Ankara. No, that's a big no jump too. She's way over the front edge there. So that 13.79 opener remains her best after 2 rounds, and she stays in 3rd place.
Just a look there at how busy it is right down at the pit here at the end of the children's triple jump. Again, Danismaz for me just collapsing into that step phase. Perhaps that's just part of her form, but frustration for Danismaz. But you can see when she was exiting the pit, it's straight into a pile of poles, and the male pole vaulters getting ready for their qualification. It is congested right over in the far corner of the track there. It's unavoidable. So the competition zones are protected, and we've got the men's decathlon high jump underway as well. So there's a lot going on down on the track. These athletes are used to it, but it always feels a bit more intense indoors.
Well, nobody anywhere near 15 metres yet, let alone the championship record of 15.16 set by Britain's Asher Hansen back in 1998. That is the championship record. Filipic now needs a mark. Oh, and again she's messed that up. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Probably wants to run out of the stadium the way this is going. 3 no jumps.
And Filipic, perhaps the advantage for her in today and for Petrova is that it's only an 8-woman final. We're not going to lose people. We're not going to cut off at that 8th position into the final 3 rounds. And that's quite forgiving, if we're honest, for these women. And it's allowed Filipic there to have 3 fouls without the normal consequence you might have in a major championship.
So Peleteiro-Compaoré, a massive no jump to kick off her campaign, and then 14.20 to give her a sizable lead here. Ion of Romania in the second round moving on to 13.99, but she's the only athlete over 14 metres so far, and she's fired up for it, screaming at the crowd, come on, get behind me, let's have some clapping. I love that rhythm. There's her heart in her sleeve, or a butterfly on her sleeve, you could say. Builds momentum. Nice rhythm there, and again that looks beyond 14 metres. Was it legal? I think it was. Phil Minchell giving me the thumbs up. And you're correct, Phil. Good guess.
It's a bit more than a guess, but thank you.
Well, that's 13.96 for Peleteiro-Compaoré, so she's got 2 of the best 3 jumps of the contest so far. But she does have that lovely rhythm on the runway. You can see her accelerating, and then the last 5 or 6 strides, there's a rhythm to them before takeoff.
Ilionis Guillaume, remember her second attempt, a huge foul, half a step over the board. Ilionis Guillaume Hopefully that was just a bit of a blip, and the Frenchwoman can be back on track here for her third attempt. That looked good on the board from Guillaume. It's a little bit laboured through the phases, but it will be a valid jump. It could improve perhaps on her 13.54. She's going to need to match her season's best form if she wants to get involved in the medals here. Guillaume has adjusted, whatever it was, starting from a different place, starting on the right foot. Guillaume had it picked out perfectly this time. That gives her a good platform, I think, as we move forward to the final 3 rounds. And hopefully she's jumped a little bit longer, and then she can just build momentum.
Well, it would be a rare medal for France if she could improve from her current 6th to a medal position and perhaps end up with a medal. They've had just 1 medal in the history of this discipline, back in 2007. Teresa Nzola Messo of France taking the bronze with 14.49. And Guillaume, their 13.52, just a little bit down on her opener, 13.54. She stays in 6th. Now, Dovile Kilty, 13.65 after a no jump in the first round. This is still round 3, remember, early days. No, that looked too like she'd gone beyond the front edge of the board. We'll see it confirmed. I'm not sure it was an improvement anyway. Yeah, it was a no jump from Kilty. High knees. Very rangy. And not a big no jump, but it wasn't a massive distance as well. I'm not sure if it was going to be much improvement on her second round, 13.65. She stays in 4th. Doesn't really look at the moment, Hannah, as though there's anybody out there who can challenge Peleteiro-Compaoré. It's a very understated first half of this competition with so many no jumps.
I think you're right, Tim. You've got season's best from Danismaz yesterday at 14.10, but that's still not enough to challenge the Spaniard at the moment. Ion has underneath 14 metres, but she is building the consistency, the Romanian. And like I said, it's sort of positive association with the runway, with the board. Ion should feel in control of this competition compared to some of her competitors that have been sort of all over the shop. They haven't looked smooth. And Ion, great on the board.
Yeah, 13.76 for Ion there. She's one of the very few athletes, just checking out, she's the only athlete to have had a valid jump each time she's been out there. 13.82, 13.99, that puts her in the silver medal position at the moment. And then 13.76 with that third round effort. Danismaz, the defending champion, at the moment in the bronze medal position with her only valid jump in round 1, 13.79. Taking things very calmly.
Salminen up next, reading the quotes the athletes give to the reporters after the qualification, and Salminen said she actually tore her hamstring in the final stages of her warm-up in Paris last summer, and so to be here, to be back healthy and jumping, she sees that as a win. That's a foul, I think, from Salminen with her third attempt here. Good jump, good distance, but to the naked eye here, I think it was a foul, just waiting for confirmation on the board down there. It has flashed up red. But Salminen, yeah, that's a good jump here, apart from it being a foul. Good phases, good rhythm, and decent distance sort of in the medal zone. So Salminen stays in 5th place right now, but hopefully if you can just figure out that run up, move it back a tiny bit.
Petrova then, 2 no jumps to her. Still hasn't come alight this competition. Big lead for Peleteiro-Compaoré with 14.20. The last time that would even have got a bronze medal, you have to go back to 1992. It would be extraordinary if that were the winning distance. And other medals were to go in under 14 metres, but here comes Petrova. Oh, no! Again, way beyond the front edge of the board. And it looked okay, it looked around 13.70, something like that, but a third consecutive no jump for her as well. She and Neja Filipic of Slovenia matching each other jump for jump at the moment. And that's not close. They're really struggling to feel the rhythm of this surface and to nail these takeoffs. First track action, by the way, gets underway at almost on the hour at 7:58 local time, 6:58 UK. It's the women's 400-metre semi-finals, followed by the men's 400 semi-finals, then those 1,500-metre finals. Now, Danismaz, final jump of round 3. Oh, that's interesting. Was that okay? I thought that looked okay. Hannah's shaking her head. It was very, very close. No, it is a no jump as well, that one. She has to settle at the moment at the halfway point of this competition. That's 3 rounds done with her opener, 13.79, and she stays in 3rd place. Just 4 centimetres. Filipic then, 3 no jumps from the first 3 rounds. Well, that looked better, but was it legal? Very, very close. If it was another no jump. Extraordinary. 4 no jumps in a row. You couldn't make it up. Move the mark back, get a jump in. You cannot go home with no mark from a European Championship final. And it was a nice jump too. Look at that. 7.98 centimetres into the plasticine, or beyond the front edge of the board, and I reckon that was a big, big jump. Might have challenged for a medal.
And if you're a little bit new to indoor championships, yes, this is an 8-person final. So even though she had 3 fouls in the first 3 rounds, she's allowed to continue.
Now Petrova, she jumped very big in the first round. But she's had 3 no jumps. It doesn't matter if the distance is good if you don't get it right at takeoff. That might have been better. Was that a bit of a safety jump in effect in the 4th round? Of course, we have changed the order as we were told. So Filipic and then Petrova, both without a mark yet, going 8th and 7th, or rather, those are their positions. But at last, Petrova gets a mark, and what has she jumped? Does she put the cat amongst the pigeons here with that first valid effort? No, she doesn't. 13.51. She's on the board, but she's in 7th place.
And I think when you've got 3 fouls like that, like the energy expenditure, this event is so explosive, and they will train to be able to do the full six rounds and be able to find something in those closing stages. But emotionally and physically, to have all those fouls for Petrova and Filipic, it's hard to have put that energy in for no result. And Guillaume might feel similar here, to have had 3 jumps and only be in 6th place with 13.50. That was another huge jump. Sorry, huge foul.
I mean, she is by, I don't know, 25 centimetres the athlete who's getting things most wrong of all the 8 athletes out there. There's been plenty of no jumps. But what's bizarre is that she carries on with the effort when she's no jumped as hugely as that, fouled as hugely as that. It's almost like she doesn't seem aware that she's so desperately wrong. Very strange. She's out of sync, that's for sure, out of sorts.
And she's not a competitor with a lack of international experience. She was on the podium in Rome last summer.
But I wonder if that adds to the pressure. If you podium outdoors and you'd start your winter thinking, all right, I could be higher on that podium come Apeldoorn, and something's not right with Guillaume. She's tense, she's not making good decisions, and she's missing the board by so far. It's baffling, really. She's got 2 more attempts, the French woman.
Senni Salminen then, lying at the moment in 5th place. I reckon that's very similar to what she's already produced. Her only valid jump in round 2 was 13.64. She is fired up for it. Perhaps that was the loudest scream of the day so far, just prior to this 4th round effort. But that too, a no jump. Oh, Yeah, very marginal. Kilty then, round 4. That's nice. That's better from Kilty. If she gets the green light, she's in 4th place here with 13.65. She needs 13.79 to move, and she gets the green light as valid. Now this is going to be close. Has she moved into 3rd place to catch Danismaz, the reigning champion? It was very tight on the board, goodness me. But she got it right. Nice rhythm to that one. Fabulous final phase into the sand. 13.80. She does move into the bronze medal position by 1 centimetre.
So Tugba Danismaz, this is not the same style of competition that she had in Istanbul. It's that national record in the opening round in front of her home crowd. And then she could just relax, and it's not going as smoothly for the defending champion here at the moment. 4th place, 2 fouls. Minor fouls though for Danismaz. That was a bigger foul there. I think better half of the whole spike plate in the wrong place over the takeoff board. It's one of these things you kind of, I think you're right, there's many athletes that are against the takeoff zone, but if you had a competition like this, I always think of Marina Bekromanchuk, the Ukrainian, who's so close to medals, who for these minor fouls, she might be a fan of it because of what she's been through. But Danismaz, that was a huge foul there. And it'll be very frustrating for her.
And she has been shunted down to 4th place as well, so it's just the 1 valid jump in the first round, 13.79, that gives her 4th now, as we see Yon, the most consistent of all of them, the only athlete that's had 3 valid jumps so far. She's in silver medal position, the Romanian. Quite an adjustment there. Chopped that final stride to make it work, so to speak. She's perhaps the one athlete who's adapting best to this runway. And that's nice. From Yon, 13.99 in round 2, her best. I don't think it was as far as that. No, 13.69. But 4 jumps and 4 valid efforts for the Romanian. And in silver medal position. And Compaoré, Peleteiro-Compaoré, passing this 4th round. I don't blame her. She's the only athlete over 14 metres with 14.20 in round 2. She's got a massive lead at the moment. There it is.
She did have an injury in her knee mid-season. She started her season well, had to have a break to kind of heal that knee and get it sorted out before coming back out for the Spanish National Championships. And perhaps if you're carrying an issue like that and you've got the opportunity to pass and kind of be ready to respond to another competitor instead of perhaps wasting an opportunity, wasting an attempt in these rounds, I think that could be a smart move from the Spanish athlete.
So, the one athlete yet to record a mark, Filipic. Neja Filipic of Slovenia. Come on. 4 no jumps so far. That looked okay. Looked a little flat through the phases, but it's actually not bad at all. I think she might have nailed one there. Maintains a lot of speed through the phases. Doesn't get a lot of height from what I could see. But she might have snatched herself a place towards the top end of this contest. 13.80 is the bronze medal position of Dovile Kilty. That came in round 4. Ooh. Good on the board, at last. Well, couldn't have left it much later. But what has Filipic done here? 13.80 is the bronze medal position. 13.79 is 4th. Kilty and Danismaz. So it's taken a little while to come up. And Filipic, well, 13.39. That looked a lot further than me.
Yeah, unless there's something totally different with the graphics that's gone on there.
Did she scrape it with scrape the sand with her hands?
Her head was quite far back. I was wondering perhaps whether she could have caught her bun or something, but I can see Filipic is going to protest that. Pretty sure she's saying it looked way further than that.
It did too. I would have sworn that was around 13.70, 13.80. Even Phil Minchell is nodding here, so I have the royal approval. Oh, no. Petrova just petering out there, that effort. She's had just the 1 valid effort. That came in round 4. She remains in 7th place. Filipic, despite that valid effort, still bringing up the rear in 8th place.
And for a little bit of context, Petrova jumped 14.69 when she got the silver medal back a decade ago in 2015.
And that front-on shot, of course, was no use at all. We couldn't judge anything from that. Need a replay from the side on. Here goes Guillaume, round 5. Well, looked rather slow, but it was effective. 13.54, 13.52. I think that one was an improvement. She's in 6th place. The bronze medal position, 13.80, remember. I don't think it's as good as that. Oh, and did she scrape the ground? And that was a bit of a safety jump in effect, wasn't it? The opposite of the 2 no jumps. She doesn't even make the board. Lovely final phase. But what's she given with that one? Guillaume, 22 centimetres behind the board. The French athlete, she's in 6th place. Can she elevate herself 1 or 2 slots in this final? 1 life left after this. What's she been given? Guillaume, 13.43. No improvement. Stays in 6th. Now Salminen, lying in 5th place. The Finn, she's only had 1 valid jump out of her 4 so far, 13.64. But she is a 14-metre plus jumper this year. She could head out towards that. 14 metres, she'd move into the silver medal position. That's better. That's much better from Salminen. If she gets the green light, if it was a valid jump, no, it wasn't. It's a no jump. That's frustrating, because I think that must have been fairly marginal. I don't think it was a long... Oh, and that's given as a no jump. And you know what we've seen? I mean, I don't want to start making a big issue of it, but we've seen those given in the last 24 hours.
Salminen, well, she's going to go and have a look at it and perhaps use that experience to kind of argue her case. But we've got Filipic out there. I'm still not quite sure.
I don't understand the rule, because they say that if you roll forward while your foot is in contact with the ground and break the air above and beyond the front edge of the point, the vertical plane, then it's a no jump. Whereas the old rule was if you just touch the ground beyond the front end of the board, which I think made more sense. I think that's really harsh to call that a no jump myself.
And I think you can have a pressure plate. You know, then you wouldn't be worrying so much about technology being perfect. But Kilty still in the bronze medal position. That jump from Filipic looked big, but was measured down 13.39 in the end. It's Kilty, I think she was over the takeoff board there.
Way beyond it, yeah.
It's a new pressure that comes with being in a medal position by just 1 centimetre, trying to defend it. I think I could see there was more tension there in Kilty than I've seen in her first 4 attempts, and I think it's that kind of anxious energy to go, wow, I'm in the medal position. I don't think Kilty's ever won a senior medal. She has won age group once, but to be in a medal position at the moment is pretty nerve-wracking, especially when you've got the likes of Danismaz kind of behind you.
So, well, she jumped 13.86 in qualifying, Kilty. If she could do that, she'd be picking up a bronze medal. Danismaz, the defending champion. Oh my word. No, she's in 4th place. She still has, after 5 jumps, only that valid jump from the first round. Danismaz, 13.79.
So we're going to have a look back at Filipic and see what's gone on here. And if you see there, the left hand, you can see the mark down in the sand right above the Latvian pole vaulter there. There was a drag through the sand from Filipic, and it's a strange one, because you would think you'd sense that as an athlete, and perhaps not if there's so much adrenaline going through your body that you're not really acknowledging that that's what's happened. But that makes much more sense now why that jump was measured so short. Ion in the silver medal position at the moment. That could add a few centimetres to her best. got an advantage of nearly 20 centimetres ahead of Kilty. When you look at, Guillaume's not quite finding her feet. Filipic isn't either. And Danismaz is half finding her rhythm. For me, as we move towards the 6th and final round of this final, Danismaz is the one I'm looking to perhaps get herself up. Maybe Salminen, long jumps with small fouls. There's still danger for the likes of Ion and Kilty in those medal positions. Peleteiro-Compaoré, her 14.20, and that's further than anyone's got near in the pit, whether they've done a minor foul or not. So she skipped the 4th round, but she's back now for her 5th round attempt.
Well, she comes here pretty fresh. Past that 4th round jump. 14.20 and 13.96 in rounds 2 and 3. Her only 2 valid jumps. Still that big lead. Ion with that 5th round 13.98. Getting a slightly stronger grip upon the silver medal position. Kilty still hanging in there with that 13.80 in round 4 for the bronze. Peleteiro-Compaoré. Now, historically, can she do something special here? Oh, yes. That's bigger. That's bigger, it's better, and it's the best. Gets the green light, which she does. That was probably 14.30, 14.35. I would say a substantial improvement, and this will be perhaps a historically big winning margin if this is to continue.
Well, perhaps that skip then in the 4th round. With only 8 people in the final, it is moving quickly, especially with the fouls as well. There's less time taken by the judges to measure the attempts. Peleteiro-Compaoré maybe just looking at that 4th round and saying, I need a bit of a recovery if I'm going to find further. And she does. She betters her own European lead, 14.37. And she is just telling herself to calm down. There is danger in this field behind her. She's going to have to wait for everybody to jump in that reverse order before she sees whether she has to go again to keep that gold medal.
Well, a winning margin at the moment, 38 centimetres. I mean, it's monstrous. Filipic with 13.39. She's got to clear ahead of the frustration of 4 no jumps, followed by a little scrape of the sand, which stopped her 5th round jump being bigger than the 13.39 she was credited with. Her only valid jump, almost a metre down on Peleteiro-Compaoré there in round 5. She's so much better than that. This is an athlete who's jumped 14.42 a couple of years back, 14.05 this winter. Can she get it together here? Studied pharmacy at the University of Ljubljana. Can she get the chemistry right here for this one? No, I don't think she can. That looked like a no jump as well, even though it's big. And it's very big. I mean, that looks like about a 14.20. Biggest winning margin ever is 58 centimetres. At these championships. That was back in 2013, and that's another, well, 15 centimetres beyond the front edge of the board. It's been not an unmitigated disaster, but she will finish in 8th and last place. Filipic here with just 1 valid jump in round 5, 13.39. She will look back at this and shake her head and wonder what went wrong. Or do you just put it out of your mind, Hannah, and get on with look forwards?
No, you train your whole winter, each period, each block of the season. You're targeting the championships, and Filipic will be absolutely gutted. There would have been training camps in the early part of the winter, everything geared towards this, and she's much better than what she's shown today. And Petrova is as well, down in 7th place at the moment. If that's valid, could it possibly be valid? Petrova has struggled to find her form. Oh, heartbreak. A 4th foul for the Bulgarian. And a scream of frustration from her. It's not a big foul either. But that could have put her in the medal zone
Do you know what? We're waiting for so long for that red light to come on down there. I think I prefer the old flags, which would go up straight away from the officials sitting by the takeoff board. You knew much sooner. We're sitting here for ages, sometimes waiting for the red or green light to come on. Now Guillaume. She's in 6th place. Came into this second half of the competition in 6th, and she stayed in 6th. She's had 3 valid efforts now. 13.54 remains her best. That was in round 1. And Ilionis Guillaume is a 13.98 jumper. If she can produce anything beyond 13.80 here, she'd move into the bronze medal position. Ooh, and that's close. That's very close. It was certainly a safe jump. I don't think there's any chance of it being a no jump. No, gets the red light, the green light rather, excuse me. But look at that, 33 centimetres and more behind the board, and whatever she jumps here, we can add 33 centimetres. It was a huge effort. It's just the precision required is eluding her at the moment. Guillaume, 13.53. She's just jumped 13.86, which it would in fact be good enough for the bronze medal were it accorded her. Salminen then, last chance saloon. She's had just one valid jump, 13.64. It came in the second round. Managed 14.02 in qualifying. That would give her the silver medal. Come on, replicate that. Oh, that looks better. No jump. We think it's a no jump. Hannah here signalling that the red light will come on. It looked close to me. She gets the green light. Well, I think that's big. I think that could threaten the top 4. If not, the bronze medal position of Kilty, 13.80. Oh, yeah, that's good. 13.80 and Salminen, 13.99. Salminen at the last gasp moves into the bronze medal position. It's not over yet, because Kilty is next to go, and the Lithuanian has just seen herself shunted from bronze medal place to 4th. A gulf between being a medalist and not a medalist has just opened up. And Salminen's brilliant third round effort, 13.99, is the same distance as Jon in the silver medal position, but the Romanian stays in second by dint of a better second best distance. 13.98, of course, Jon managed in round 5. Danismaz, the defending champion. Well, it's not bad. And was that good enough? She's just had the Danismaz one valid effort in the first round, 13.79. No, that's a no jump as well. What a shame. Well, she'll finish in 5th place, but it hasn't been her day. She had a day of days 2 years ago in front of the home crowd. Maybe home advantage then was the difference. But Kilty next to go. They've reordered things after round 5. That's why Kilty jumping after Danismaz. I don't think we're going to see Peleteiro-Compaoré caught now. Jon has yet to take her 6th and final round jump. But the lead of Peleteiro-Compaoré with that 14.37. Well, Jon's never been that far, ever. Never mind about this winter. And Dovile Kilty then. Can the anger, the frustration of losing that bronze medal position just a couple of minutes ago be unleashed here by the Lithuanian? Oh no, just run out of steam. It's solid effort, but what about 13.60, something in that sort of region by Kilty. And it does confirm the bronze medal goes to Salminen. Just Jon can deny the little Romanian can deny Peleteiro the goal, but it's not likely, with all due respect.
And that's a shame there for Kilty. I think she really went for it and just overcooked the middle phase of it. You could see her centre of gravity getting too far forward. And people say fourth's the worst position, but it's still probably her best finish in a senior final for Kilty, and something to build on as she looks towards the outdoor season.
Well, here's the final jump then that can deny Peleteiro-Compaoré the goal. It's unlikely, with all respect to the little Romanian who's jumped so well and so consistently. And her reward is something special if she gets the green light. I don't think it's the gold, but it's way beyond 14 metres. And Yon, her personal best 14.23. She gets the green light. The lead is 14.37. I reckon that might be a new personal best. It's certainly something pretty special, and she knows it. And that is fine reward for a brilliant series from the little Romanian, the only athlete who's recorded a mark every single jump. 13.99 in round 2, backed it up with 13.98 in round 5. Gives away just 3 centimetres, 14.31. It's the biggest jump of her career. What a reaction from Yon, chasing down Peleteiro-Compaoré and only falling 6 centimetres short. Absolutely brilliant. It does, though, confirm Ana Peleteiro-Compaoré as a gold medalist, as the champion for Spain. And a brilliant Romanian silver there, a new personal best for Diana Ana Maria Yon, just 24 years old. She has had the most consistent series and very nearly the biggest jump of the day with that 14.31 in round 6. Now Peleteiro-Compaoré, this a celebration. How will she respond? So often you see an athlete crumble, so to speak, because they know it matters not a great deal. They have the gold already. But sometimes you see them inspired and able to unleash a big jump because there's no pressure whatsoever. Ooh, what it was the former. And it matters not. She has jumped massively. The biggest jump of the day, 14.37. I nearly said the 2 biggest jumps of the day, but Yon denies her that. But what a competition from Ana Peleteiro-Compaoré. Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo 4 years ago. Was 6th in Paris last summer. 6th back in 2019 in Doha, those World Championships in Qatar. She is very experienced, and she brought all that experience to bear here, Hannah, with that second round 14.20. Put pressure on the rest of them, and that was very nearly good enough for the win.
Lovely emotion there from Peleteiro-Compaoré. She really meant a lot to her, and I wonder if we'll see her go to Nanjing to this World Indoor Championships, and if she isn't totally on top of that knee problem that she had in the middle of the season, perhaps she'll feel fresh if she skipped a few competitions, and she might want to extend to ride this wave all the way to China in a couple of weeks. But it's hard work coming in as a favourite with that pressure on your shoulders, and Peleteiro-Compaoré wore that well. She'd been aware of what some of the other athletes did in qualification, the likes of Filipic and Salminen, over 14 metres, and the defending champion Danismaz, but they couldn't reproduce that form here today. And Yon looks absolutely over the moon with her silver medal. And for it to be on countback as well, I think to be in silver instead of bronze as a reward for that, the consistency, the 6 valid jumps, is just what she deserves.
Well, all 3 medalists will go to Nanjing. They've qualified for the World Indoor Championships coming up in 2 weeks' time. Also, Tugba Danismaz, well, she might have looked a bit disappointed in the final tonight, but of course her 14.10, which would have got her a medal if she could have repeated that, has got her qualified for Nanjing as well. And also Neja Filipic, she'll be going to China looking for redemption.
There it is, Peleteiro-Compaoré winning by just 6 centimetres. For a while we were talking about the possibility of the biggest ever winning margin, but it was certainly not that. A European lead, 14.37, ahead of Yon's 14.31 personal best. Salminen there, a super bronze for Finland with 13 metres 99.